gear. Watch what happens here. Look at this. He's stuck in gear. He's stuck in gear. Third gear is all he has. He's in deep trouble. See, he just keeps it at 12,000 RPM at 100 miles an hour. He's obviously on the way to see Dick Simon.
Keep an eye on Raul Boesel, who is running in 5th place. He should turn off to the right here. Though I'm not sure there's a whole lot they can do about a situation like that.
No, if it was 5th gear, he probably could get away with it. But 3rd gear, way too short a gear.
Let's go back a little bit earlier. Willie T. Ribbs got in trouble. The view is from Stefan Johansson's car as they complete the front stretch.
Watch how quickly this happens. Look at this. Immediately locks the rears, full 360, and Johansson has to make an instantaneous decision. Do I go around the outside?
All right, let's go on to Gary Gerould now.
We heard from A.J. Foyt earlier and how the crew was taking the responsibility for the problems for Bryan Herta. Brian, I know it's disappointing in only your 4th IndyCar race. This is the first real taste of adversity, however, you've had after 3 great previous runs.
Well, it really is. Our first 3 races, you know, we didn't get any big breaks going our way, but then again, we didn't have anything going against us either. So, you know, we had pretty good races and were able to finish. And this is the first time anything really has happened to us. And, you know, in the end, of course, we had the electrical problem with the motor, so it really washed itself out anyways. But I just want to thank Copenhagen and the team for giving me a really good car today to run.
After the contact with Goodyear, when you came into the pits, did you think you were going to be able to get restarted and get back out to compete?
Well, I wasn't really sure. You know, I know he hit me awfully hard, and I was really surprised because I didn't expect him to be coming in like that. But, you know, the car seemed to hold together, and you know, that's just really a tribute to all the guys for putting in such a strong car for me.
Thanks, Brian.
Fittipaldi climbing all over the back of Al Unser Jr. as they use slower traffic to Fittipaldi's advantage. Al Unser Jr. certainly knows he is there, but he also knows that he has to handle up slower traffic just ahead. That was Hero on the front stretch that gave Fittipaldi an opportunity to really close in on Little Al.
And as long as he has clear road, he seems to be able to control the situation. Traffic is a complete unknown every time you arrive up behind it. He poked his nose under Matt Schuster, and he had to back right out of it. That's what gave Emerson the run. Al Jr. is in a real fight.
Fittipaldi much faster by 2 miles an hour on the last lap, owing in part to the traffic that Little Al found himself in the middle of. Now they are still in more traffic. Fittipaldi's awfully good at it, but so is Little Al. We've got a potentially great fight here.
And Emerson knows Al Jr. is one of the hardest men to actually make a clean pass on. Al Jr. knows exactly how and where to position that car to drive defensively. But Emerson has an advantage as Jr. picks his way through the traffic.
Little Al can make that car mighty wide. There's the traffic just ahead of Little Al. And that could mean plenty of trouble for Little Al. We're now down at lap 87 of a 102-lap race. So Little Al can't tarry here.
Oh, you have to be careful here. That's Parker Johnstone in the Acura car. We know that's not that quick down the straight. Villeneuve will try and pass him, and Al Jr. will be all over the two of them.
And Villeneuve could actually be the bigger problem for them, couldn't he? Because he runs up there with the front all the time. He's going to be hard for Little Al to get around.
Yeah, and that's Fernandez ahead of him. So this is a freight train here. Al Jr. needs to be really careful. There's Emerson all over his rear wing.
Fernandez comes to the inside of Greco. Johnstone waves Villeneuve by. And Fittipaldi looks for room. Whoa, that's what you got to watch out for. Oh.
How many times have we seen it? Parker Johnstone moves over, takes the line. He's got to get out of the way of the leaders. You need to move over. You need to look in your mirrors.
Of course, Jack is now fighting to try and stay on the lead lap. He currently runs in 6th. Last car on the leader lap.
Double apex corners. It's actually Marco Greco, I believe.
Update, Jan Beekes.
Well, you were talking about how important it is for Jacques Villeneuve to stay ahead. In fact, he's had that radio conversation. They said, whatever you do, stay ahead of Little Al, because like you said, that makes a big lap difference here.
And and makes it doubly hard for Al Unser Jr.
Now look at this. Here's a surprise. Al Jr. was not able to outdrag the Honda in Parker Johnstone's Acura car on the way down that back straight. Emerson is still there, ready to pounce. Oh, look at this.
Fittipaldi looks to the inside, as does Al Unser Jr. Jr.'s going to go for getting two of them if he can. He can't.
Doesn't get by Marco Greco. Emerson comes through.
They both come by Parker Johnstone. Now Marco Greco is the target ahead. But Fittipaldi is looking for opportunity.
Whoa, look at Al Jr. It took him a full lap to get by Parker Johnstone. Now let's see, does Marco Greco see Emerson?
Well, Little Al had greater confidence in Greco, who is a regular on the series, as opposed to the rookie at this race, Johnstone. Now Fittipaldi will handle up the fellow Brazilian, Marco Greco.
And suddenly Al Jr. gets some breathing room. Look at this. 6 or 7 car lengths in the space of 2 or 3 corners. Al Jr. can take a half a breath because he has a little bit of room now.
Yeah, but there's still traffic ahead that's going to matter. There you see it. And just that quickly, he's on top of it. Gary Gerould?
Raul Boesel, we thought it was stuck in gear. They broke the shifting mechanism down in the cockpit. The crew has hurriedly made a repair. He had the helmet off, thought his day was done. Helmet's back on, gloves coming on. He's going back in the cockpit for the final laps, Paul.
Oh, so you can repair the thing. Shift mechanism in the cockpit.
Well, there's no points for finishing at the end, only points for the top 12. And Boesel is well out of that at the moment. But Al Jr. continues to rock and roll here.
Little Al out in front, but Fittipaldi closing quickly, and traffic very much a concern for both Fittipaldi and Unser Jr. Well, they've maintained this interval for the past lap and a half. Al Unser Jr. and Emerson Fittipaldi now closing on Villeneuve. And he could very clearly be the factor that decides this race, because he is not going to be easy to pass. At the same time, Al Unser Jr. has a reputation for making a race car very wide indeed. As we move to the closing laps now, 92 laps complete here at Portland in what is a record pace at 105 miles an hour, 105.2 for the record. We're now running at 107.38. And the Penske cars have led every lap here, either Tracy or Fittipaldi or the current leader and the pole sitter, Al Unser Jr.
And FYI, the fastest man all day here has been Al Unser Jr. 61.1 was his fastest lap. Emerson's fastest lap was a 61.2. However, that was earlier. Emerson is now running 0.2 of a second quicker on the last lap again than Al Unser Jr. And Jr. still is caught in a traffic jam.
So Jr. and Fittipaldi, the only cars here to run laps at better than 114 miles an hour. Look from Rahaal's car as Little Al comes flying past. And Al gives Fittipaldi plenty of room.
You saw what he did there, moved way down to the inside and down changed.
Real sportsmanship out of Rahal as he moved over there. And boy, look how fast they disappear from Rahal.
Boy, what a hard chase this is for Emerson. As soon as he gets up behind Al Jr., then he gets the bad breaks in traffic and has to make up inch by inch that time and room again, all the way back up to him. But Fernandez and Jacques Villeneuve are in a battle, not for position. Fernandez peels off. Oh, Al Jr. needs to get by Jacques Villeneuve.
Fernandez heads for the pits. Fittipaldi closes in on the back of Little Al once again.
Here we go, here we go.
Now, this is critical for Fittipaldi. Little Al has passed. He hopes that Jack knows he's back there and will give him the room.
Yes, he does. Good move by Jacques Villeneuve. You don't need to be in the fight. Let the two leaders get on along their way and fight it out in a clean, good, hard battle. And what a battle it is. Boy, you hope your teammate lets you off the hook and lets you take it easy. But not here. This is the way it should be.
94 laps complete, 8 to go. Unser Jr. leads it. Fittipaldi is second. Nigel Mansell is back about 21 seconds behind Fittipaldi in third place. Then Paul Tracy. Then Robbie Gordon rounds out the top 5. Robbie Gordon had a problem on his stop that really dropped him down in the order, or he could be even more competitive than that.
It was a 37-second fuel stop, which cost him a lot of time. That was why he's now trying to make some of that time up.
Looking way back through the crowd to pick up Nigel Mansell, the third place car. There he is. Raul Boesel right behind him after having his gearbox, actually his shift lever repaired. And Nigel Mansell is heading down pit road for what should be routine and final. Jan Vikas?
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, you want to have your stopwatch on this one. All they're going to do is give it a little bit of fuel. It'll be a 2-second time pit stop. That's all the fuel they need. And that'll bring it to a stop. Let's see. Here it goes. The fuel is in. Oh, man, it took them a couple minutes to get it engaged. Now they have it timed. They tap him on the back, and Nigel now is out of here.
Well, not quite a couple minutes, but I'll bet it felt like it.
A splash and go still takes 8 long seconds. And remember, the 80 miles an hour pit lane speed limit is what also eats up valuable time.
Back to Jan Vikas.
Paul, you could see that it was a 2-second timed fuel pit stop, but what happened was they had a problem with the valve going in and the valve coming out. So like you say, that turned what could have been 3 or 4 seconds into 8.
That's the valve on the nozzle going into the car, Jan?
Yes, it's the large nozzle they have to engage for the fuel to go through. Let's check in with Gary Gerould.
Jacques Villeneuve just also made a splash and go, and he was in here for about 3 to 4 seconds. That's it. He's gone. So some of these teams unable to go the distance in 2 stops as they'd hoped.
So Al Unser Jr. with Emerson Fittipaldi doing everything he can to catch up. When we come back, we'll see who will take the Portland 200. Back now for the final 4 laps of the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200, Portland International Raceway. 102 laps the scheduled distance. The fight is for the lead of the race between Al Unser Jr. and Emerson Fittipaldi. It's broken off for the moment. Here is Robbie Gordon, who had that problem, and as a result has fallen back into 5th place, looking ahead, trying to find Nigel Mansell.
Oh, and he's not that far behind Mansell. Mansell is just up the road about 3 seconds because of that splash and go fuel stop. Now, if Gordon can run without a splash and go, he may have a chance to catch Mansell. There it is right here. That is not that far of a chase for Robbie Gordon.
No, Gordon's very definitely in visual contact and is closing through the festival corners. Named for the Portland Rose Festival here. Marvelous time. There are over 20,000 square dancers in town here for national contests as well. This city is really alive, but the focus is on the Indy cars and its race. 99 laps complete for Al Unser Jr. Let's go to Gary Gerould.
Paul, you may be wondering about this splash and go situation that brought Mansell and Villeneuve in late. How does that impact the Penske team? We just checked with Richard Buck, who of course is, along with Roger Penske, keeping close tabs on Al Unser Jr. They said, we just set our fuel situation, or fuel setting in the cockpit at 98, which means they are going flat out. They don't have to worry about coming in for fuel in these final laps. They don't have to conserve. So that's a great position, obviously, to be in.
Fittipaldi's fallen back a bit as Little Al runs on to clear race course. No traffic ahead past few miles. That's worked to his advantage. Whenever he gets clear, he tends to run away from Fittipaldi.
2 laps left. In fact, the traffic that you mentioned just up the road, in fact, is Mansell and Robbie Gordon. So Al Jr. continues this total Penske domination over the course of these long, long races. They maintain their momentum and just break the back and break the heart of everybody else. The main thing they have is those good, solid rear tires over long, long runs.
Yeah, but if he catches up to Robbie Gordon and Mansell, neither one of those guys are in the least bit interested in giving way to him, and they could bottle him up. They've got their own fight.
Which is exactly what Emerson is praying for right now, because Emerson, lap for lap in clear traffic, does not have any more over Al Jr. In fact, is dropping back, as you said earlier, a little bit more as the laps go on here. One more lap for Al Unser Jr. and the Penske record continues.
100 laps are complete now. 101, the white flag. One more circuit to go for Al Unser Jr. as he closes on traffic. Fittipaldi sits just behind, looking for any opportunity that he can find. Little Al has to concern himself with traffic just ahead.